Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Sri Radha. Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Sri Radha. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Sri Radha. Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Kishore Gopinata Sri Radha. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radha. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Shitana Premanande Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Bhagavatam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, not I, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shiva Vyasati, the author. Nashtapraya Vishwanagirishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ramasharude Bhaktir Bhavati Naishniki. By regular attendance and office of the Bhagavatam, by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of God, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as the irrevocable fact. Mangyanatamalavitasya Mananganashalakaya Kashurumitamina Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah. As the Lord of the darkness of ignorance, and the spiritual master open my eyes to the torchlight of knowledge, I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Just go ahead and someone's good. That clapping is a weird thing. I don't know where to leave it. So, reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 8. Text. Are we going to read? This is a new chapter. So what do? We read the summary or?
We read the translations of 1 to 13 and then we focus on 1 verse 11.
Oh, okay.
Just everyone reads it together. Right?
Oh, yes, yes. Do it all, everyone.
On your mark, get set, go.
Srimad Swami continued, the son of Rudra was Harita, and Harita's son was Champa, who constructed the town of Champapuri. The son of Champa was Sudeva, and his son was Vijaya. The son of Vijaya was Bharat, Bharat's son was Rika, and Rika's son was Bahuka. The enemies of King Bahuka took away all his possessions, and therefore the king entered the order of Vamandrasna, and went to the forest with his wife. Bahuka died when he was old, and one of his wives wanted to die with him, following the Sati rites. At that time, the mother, Purvamani, knowing her to be pregnant, forbade her to die. Knowing that she was pregnant, the co-wives of the wife of Bahuka conspired to give her poison with their food, but it did not act. Instead, the son was born along with the poison. Therefore, he became famous as Sagara, when he was born with poison. Sagara later became the emperor. The place where was Ganga Sagara was excavated by his sons. Sagara Maharaj followed the order of his spiritual master, Anugraha, did not kill the uncivilized man like the Nalajandas, Yavanas, Srajas, Rayas, and Bhagavatas. Instead, some of them he made dressed awkwardly, some of them he shaved clean, but allowed to wear mustaches. Some of them let the hair loose in his head, some he half-shaved, some he left without underwear, and some without external garments. Thus his different companions were made dressed differently, but King Sagara did not kill them. Following the instructions of the great sage Anugraha, Sagara Maharaj performed Ashwamedha sacrifices, and thus satisfied the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Controller, the Super Soul of all universal scholars, and the Lord of all Vedic knowledge, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Indra, King of Heaven, stole the Lord's strength to be offered as a sacrifice. King Sagara had 2 wives, Sumati and Seshini, the sons of Sumati, who were very proud of their prowess and influence, following the order of their father, searched for the lost horse. While doing so, they dug into the ground very extensively. Thereafter, in the northwest direction, they saw the horse in the ashram of Kapila Muni. Here is the man who has stolen the horse, they said. He is staying there with closed eyes. Certainly he is very sinful. Kill him! Kill him! Shouting like this, the sons of Sagara, 60,000 altogether, raised their weapons. When they approached the stage opened his eyes. By the influence of Indra, the king of heaven, the sons of Sagara had lost their intelligence and disrespected great personality.
Consequently, fire emanated from their own bodies.
And they were immediately burned to ashes. It is sometimes argued that the sons of King Sagara were burned to ashes by the fire emanating from the eyes of Kapila Muni. This statement, however, is not true like the late many persons, for Kapila Muni's body is completely devoid of things, and therefore it cannot manifest the mode of ignorance in the form of anger, just as the pure sky cannot be illuminated by dust or earth. Kapila Muni enunciated in this material world the Samkhya philosophy, which is a strong boat with which to cross over the ocean of nescience. Indeed, a person eager to cross the ocean of material world may take shelter of this philosophy. In such a greatly learned person,
Situated on the elevated platform of transcendence,
how can there be any distinction between enemy and friend?
Hare Krishna. So we will discuss text 11. Sasariragnina tavan mahendra hita cetasa Mahadvyatikramahata Bhasmasad Abhavamshanat Swasarira Agnina, by the fire emanating from their own bodies.
With Maharaj, we also just
Okay.
recite. We all recite.
Um,
Line by line.
So we'll begin now.
Yeah, all you do is recite the line, and we'll just line by line. I'll do it, and she does it. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Sa sariragnina tavam Mahendra Rita Cetasa Mahadvyatikramahata Bhasmasad Abhavamshanat
Swashiriragninatham Mahindra Rita Cetasa Mahadvyatikramahata Bhasmasad Swasariragninatham Mahendra Rita Cetasa Mahadvyatikramahata Bhasmasad Swashariragninatham
Mahendra Rita Cetasa
Mahindra Cetasa Mahadvyatikramahata
Bhasmasad
Bhasmasad. So what's word meaning? Swasarira Agnina, by the fire emanating from their own bodies. Tavat, immediately. Mahendra, by the tricks of Indra, the king of heaven. Rita Cetasa, their consciousness having been taken away. Mahat, a great personality. Vyatikrama hata, defeated by the faults of insulting. Bhasmasat, turned to ashes. Abhabhan, became. Shanat, immediately. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the influence of Indra, the king of heaven, the sons of Sagara had lost their intelligence and disrespected the great personality. Consequently, fire emanated from their own bodies, and they were immediately burned to ashes. Purport. The material body is a combination of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. There is already fire within the body, and our practical experience is that the heat of this fire sometimes increases and sometimes decreases. The fire within the bodies of the sons of Sagara Maharaj became so much hotter that all of them burned to ashes. The fire's increased heat was due to their misbehavior towards a great personality. Such misbehavior is called Mahadvyatikrama. They were killed by the fire of their own bodies because of insulting a great personality. Swasariragninatabhan. This is the cause of the sons of Sagara Maharaj, when they're pious, but they offended a great personality, Vaishnava, or yes, Kapila Muni. He's a Satyavais avatar. He's a Jiva Tattva category, but he is empowered incarnation, just like Srila Prabhupada, or many of our acharyas. They can have very high level of spiritual potency, but here he was not the cause of the death of Sagara's sons being burnt. Is their own body got burned by themselves because of the aparad, the offense that was committed. Sin and aparad, or it's not the same, papa or aparad. Sin and aparad, offense, it's not the same. Sin can be atoned a little easier, but for the Vaishnava parad, the offense, sometimes it says it's like hatimata offense, like the elephant going to a garden. And garden is so beautiful, so many flowers, plants, and fruits, vegetables, and so on. But then when an elephant goes inside, it creates an havoc. The whole plantation will be disturbed. So it is like that. Also, if one commits an aparad, even the Lord cannot do any, because in the heart of the devotee, the Lord resides. So who feels the pain is the Lord. Devotee is beyond the bodily concept of life. He doesn't take offense. He's not affected. He's not affected by the modes of material nature. And it says here, Kapila Devi is free from anger. Anger is something that, under the modes of ignorance and passion, if one cannot get what he wants, like a child, remember? Maybe we did it also when we were kids. Sometimes the kids will bang his head on the floor just to get what he wants from the family or from the parents. He will cry. Tantrum, you call it tantrum, right, Maharaj? Tantrum. Tantrum, yeah. Is higher than anger. So, anyone who are under the modes of material nature, we are all prone to have these different unwanted desires, starting from lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, especially envy. Prabhupada says the main reason why we're still here in this material world is because we're still envious. Because of another person has something that I don't have, or maybe I have, but greater, he is greater, so I want to be better also, what he has. And this offense to the devotees, or for that matter, to every living entities, not just to the devotees. So the way we deal outside is how we deal inside. Huh? It's not just inside we're good, but then when we go outside we criticize, others. It's the same thing. So the material body, mabumir apo nalobayo kamano budir evacha ahankara iti yame bina prakriti ashtida. 5 gross and 3 subtle elements, according to the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God. In the Bhagavad Gita, this verse was repeated also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that patram puspam palam soyam yome bhakta prayachate tad bhakti varitam. Is repeated in the 10th canto. We have to be, the main message there in Sudama Vipra is very humble, is very simple, is satisfied, no complaint, and is always happy. Is in the Brahma Bhuta platform. There's no anger in him, no envy, that's for sure. Like Kodabecha Sridhar is the same. Simple. His house is full of holes. Maybe there's no roof. Then he's satisfied. And the Lord gave them so much mercy. So here, if we commit Vaishnava Parad, it's like, of course there is, it says also Bhagavad Gita, in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. Right? But at the same time, it could be uprooted. Wasn't it uprooted? The Bhaktilata beach. It may take many more lifetimes before one can recover or come to where he left off. So it's like the animals in Vrindavan. It says that they have committed offenses. That's why they took birth in lower species of life, which seemingly like a filthy place. But being in Vrindavan, they're not ordinary. Prabhupada says it'll be their last life. They're very fortunate, auspicious to take birth in Vrindavan, to live in Vrindavan, especially to die in Vrindavan. So the material body is under the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. The soul is separate. The one who is engaged in the body, when you're engaged, or within, let's say within. Yeah, this body is like tailor-made because of our karma from the past. We desire something that it created a form which is suitable to receive that karma. This is why there are 8,400,000 species of life. So one can have one of the 8,400,000 species of life, whereby you'll be able to enjoy the material energy. But it's not possible. Not possible. It's been tried and proven. We've been coming here again and again in this material world, in different species of life. Human form of life is so valuable, but we should not misuse it and try to be a nice devotee someday. Prabhupada said we should get out of the Kanista platform, at least come to Madhyam platform, because in Madhyam platform one can distinguish. Kanista, only one can see the Lord and himself. He doesn't see others. Doesn't see who are the devotees. He doesn't see who are the envious. And therefore, love of God starts on the Madhyam platform. In Kanista, no. Prabhupada mentions in a purport, cheap devotee. What do you mean, cheap devotee? Materialistic devotee. A cheap devotee is like the Mayavadis. They want to merge into the effulgence of the Supreme Lord. King Indra is always putting himself into trouble, seemingly. But he's a devotee also. In a sense, how can you be a king of the demigods? Sit on a throne. King has a throne, right? No throne, no king. Even Hiranyakashipu, he took over the throne of King Indra when he terrorized the entire universe. He's the greatest aparadi. He doesn't accept God. But he knows the science of the soul. He was preaching to his relatives after the death of his brother Hiranyaksha. They're even telling stories from the Puranas. But at the same time, he is atheist, more than atheist. Impersonalist. Impersonalist is more offensive than atheist. So there's very high degree of offense here. Have we been like that before? We come to that platform where we don't accept there's God, or if there's a God, why is he doing this? But no, it all has something to do with our karma. He only facilitates to the material energy with this body, the mindset, the intelligence, the ahankar, the false ego. Our real ego is that we're all servants of Lord Krishna. But in due course of performing service, we also have to be mindful of other devotees. Otherwise, we may commit offense to them. That will hamper the progress in Krishna consciousness. So Kapila Muni, Lord Kapila Dev, is the expounded of Sankhya philosophy, to count. Like the scientist, the only thing missing the scientist, they don't believe in the soul. They don't believe in soul. Everything happens by chance. Everything is like, just Big Bang. Big dynamite. And then the whole creation happens. That's very offensive. So we have to be careful also to associate with those who are offensive. What offensive means always criticizing others. It starts with the mind, then words, then it becomes action. Action is severe, but worse than action is by words, because words is like more cutting. Weapon, it'll heal, but words, it's like an axe going inside. So we have to choose our words, before we speak, think 3 or 4 times more. Because it says that the tongue is quicker than the mind. So we have to be careful. That's why at the very beginning in Bhakti, the foundation. It's like it has to be strong, because if the foundation is shaky, then there's a chance that it'll crumble, the whole structure. So similarly in bhakti, the best is like we have a good beginning, foundation. Especially you're very fortunate being having this education here, higher education. You cannot get this in the university. Ryerson, you go, or U of T, you cannot get this. How fortunate we are to understand that this life is short. They say, life is short, party harder. Right? But we said also the same thing, life is short, Sankirtan, party harder. Engage in book distribution, that will make you a very strong commitment and convince. Prasadam, Harinam. Yes. It's up to us actually. So prayers are very powerful. It is not mundane. Or when we dream of spiritual matters like Srila Prabhupada or our spiritual master, or something that relates to our service, then that makes us more inspired, and just mind our own service. Because this is what we going to offer to Krishna, we wanted to make it the best. Of course, we're always going to be servants. Always going to be servants. And the moment we think that we're become the master or the enjoyer, then Maya creeps in. And then we commit offenses. But the best atonement, though, is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, is the ultimate antidote. But we have to chant it like, without any offenses also. Reminds us every morning we recite them. That's number one offense. What's that? Yeah. And the topmost is the guru offense. Guru. Because he's the embodiment of all the saintly personalities or great devotees. Yeah. Extra careful when serving the devotees. When we serve the Lord directly, it's like the pujaris when they serve Lord Krishna in his Archavigraha expansion. They have to be careful also. The more serious offense is the offense when we serve Vaishnavas or the spiritual master, especially. We'll tend to become familiar. We don't know who each and everyone here, but we know we're going to serve Krishna, and we have to appreciate each and everyone. Yeah, according to their level. Both material and spiritual. Because sometimes you're judgmental. We tend to judge according to one's appearance, according to one's look. No, look can be deceiving. We've heard of that, right? But what matters is inside. What matters in everything that we do is our intention. What is it that I wish to achieve? For my own spiritual benefit. And for the others as well. Yes. Then we'll be careful not to commit any offenses, any aparad. There's so many types of aparad. There is Dhamma aparad, Seva aparad, Nama aparad. Even in the holy Dham, we have to be careful. When we go there, there is something that is beyond our perception, but it is perceivable through our other inner senses. And externally, maybe looking like filthy, especially with the pigs and the monkeys and the dogs.
The tractors.
And the e-rickshaws. Everything to distract us. Yeah, that's why when one comes and he says, "Oh, why is it looking like this? This is not like, what I read from the Krishna book." This. There are other places. Some places still like not. It's like we call off the beaten track. It's like like in Ramghat, where Lord Balaram went to meet the devotees. So even those days, there are offenders like Panduraka, right, Maharaj? He trying to imitate Lord Krishna with arms also. Yeah. So even in the holy Dham, we have to be careful. But here also is a temple. It's a place of Krishna. It's the abode of Lord Krishna. So, mandir, our mind should be peaceful here, not disturbed. Anxiety will always be there, but we're safe, we're protected if we are close by with the devotees, but we have to be careful at the same time. Try to be in the mood of always trying to serve or help, because our movement is hospitality movement. Yes. How we welcome the new ones and who are here. Both. So in this way we'll be not increasing our karma. Otherwise, when we leave this body, there's nothing we will take with us. The three subtle elements comes along with the soul. As long as he is traversing the material world, it comes along with those subtle elements. That's why sometimes other devotees, they make so much quick progress. Others, it takes time. Isn't it, Maharaj? Yeah. How is that? But it's not how we start, it's how we finish. That's more important. It's like, the turtle and the hare. The turtle won the race. Yeah. Well, we have to be increasing more and more our faith every day. In this way, Maya's attraction will be lesser and lesser. Okay, we stop here. Is there any questions or any comments or a reflection or Maharaj?
It's many years ago when this was not a ladies' ashram. I was sleeping in one of the rooms over here, right at the window. Shiva Mukta was next to me, early 80s. And in the morning after we woke up, he said, "Bhakti Maharaj, you were talking in your sleep."
You're dreaming.
Oh my God, what was I saying? And he said, you were talking about the tortoise and the hare. I didn't even know, honestly. It wasn't in my subconscious. And so what was that all about? And then I had to come up with an idea. Okay, well, the tortoise is very determined. He's slower, but he's steady. And that's the way we have to be in our devotion. The hare represents someone who's in the mode of passion. And just runs real fast and then takes a break and relaxes. And so because of his restless nature, the hare lost the race. Yeah, so I sort of covered myself. But I also wanted to say something else.
Yes,
You know,
Maharaj.
like these Shastras, they do talk about, especially Brigamuni, that past time, and making offenses. First of all, by being silent, not saying anything. That's very offensive. Another one, form of offense is not being silent, but speaking something nasty. And then there's the other offense, which is considered
They call it
more grave.
yes,
Physically,
yes.
if injury. So it's been seen, like we offend people by being physical. So we also offend through gossip and things of that nature. So when you're physical, it's called overt. It's actually a French word.
Overt.
Overt. But we say
Silent.
overt.
Silently.
Yeah, it's just loud and physical, right? And men do that quite a bit. Ladies have a different defense method, and that is to be covert. They're very subtle, and oftentimes just get into gossip. For instance, I wrote a poem about gossip, and I told Connie, said I have a poem about gossip. So, send it to me. I gossip all the time. So that gossip is a subtle approach, but it can be some way more, let's say, damaging in some ways.
Negative
So,
energy, Maharaj, is
It's
not.
both are
Yeah.
bad. Both are bad. Both are negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other points here? Yes, sir.
Maharaj, we see a lot of time in scriptures it is said that we are spirit souls. So when I try to think about it, I don't feel applying practical, like I don't feel like applying that knowledge in practical life, like how I'm spirit soul, like do I'm just an air or what?
Very intelligent boy. Very intelligent boy. You know what? See, when our aim, when our purpose is to serve Krishna and His devotees, you don't have to think separately, I'm not this body. Automatically, you are beyond the bodily platform. It's like when we chant Hare Krishna, it should be like, purely, it's nectar, but we don't have taste. Why? Because we have still so many things that we have to burn, and the main thing is keep serving Krishna, the devotees, and you don't have to think, I'm not this body. Automatically you are not this body. Okay?
I just want to add something to it. You might not feel like practically applying it, but our program is called, Way of Sadhana in the morning. So as soon as after you've showered, you put it into practice, whether you want to believe it or not. I'm not this body, I'm a spirit. Just go on and do it. That we're programmed and conditioned to do this. So starting off, the day is on the spiritual note, spiritual practices, chanting, coming before the deities, and chanting and offering prayers, doing the japa, sitting down like we are right now. So, you might not feel up to it, but many of it, the mind doesn't do it. We do it anyways. We just that's kind of imperative for people who want to actually be human. Just to start off doing spiritual things in the morning. Some people pray, some people do a little all, you start on that, and then, once it's like starting an engine in a car in the winter. But once you got it going, just take off for the rest of the day. So, there is that practical application.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, you just do it.
Any other points? Mataji? Here? Any question?
This man over there, something.
Huh? Yes.
It's more like a practical question, Maharaj.
Mm.
Sometimes we know devotees, if you stay with them, your consciousness might not be that nice because they're more into prajalpa stuff. And as per Rupa Goswami, we are supposed to avoid the association of those which is not nice for us. But at the same time, once you start avoiding them, you start feeling that, oh, they are like this, they keep on doing prajalpa.
No.
So you think bad about that.
Yeah.
So
Well, always be respectful. It doesn't matter what type of a devotee you are meeting or you're having to meet or to associate with. Always be respectful and value whatever they're having, but not necessarily you accept them. Acceptance, it is like you have to reject being so close to them, but you have to be with them also. You cannot separate it, right? Because you're serving in the same community. But always be respectful and trying to serve. This is the antidote. If you're envious of another devotee, because this happens also, you're envious of a devotee. So the antidote for that is you try to serve him. But then you have to eat the humble pie. You have to be humble though, because you cannot serve genuinely. Maybe externally you're serving, but that's not serving. Serving means, again, with love and devotion, even to the devotees. So, yes, that may come, that thought, but we have to disregard it, because this is the trick. The trick of the mind. Mind is tricky. Always trying to make plans, how I can be comfortable, how can I enjoy. It's not possible. It's not possible. What else?
I would just like to add something too. I think devotees need to learn the art of detracting, the art of, somebody saying something negative, and then you just, put a positive spin on the subject, you have to be more of a, but yeah guy instead of a, yeah but.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean by that? But yeah.
But
Yeah.
But what's
This is so-and-so's, he is what you say he is. That's true. He's ugly, or he's got bad breath, or he's always saying something nasty about someone. But there is this other thing that he does that makes him excel. Just to learn that art, devotees need to know that.
it's an art. It's an art, but it comes. Everything comes from the chanting of the holy name and reading Prabhupada's books together. Prabhupada says, along with chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one should read my books. Because books are the basis. Yeah, that's why it's there. Prabhupada says, I wrote these books not just for distribution, this is for my disciples to read. So what is the purpose of why Prabhupada wrote these books? To convince us to chant Hare Krishna. And once we convince, then we relish the books more and more. They go side by side, becomes nectarine. And we have to read them also under the guidance of learned, more advanced devotees than we are. Then it makes clear, because they have realized the truth. Realize the truth. not just theoretically reading Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So I thank you very much. Hari Hari. And, Jai Gaur Shitanat Premanandi Hari.